Hi there guys, Sam here. You join me once again in the Golf R for another video. And yeah, this video just a little bit around something that I heard in the news this week, just around Mountune and a company sort of teaming up to develop a sort of upgrade kit for the Golf R. And I wanted to talk a little bit around that, as well as give my sort of usual updates just on my Golf R. So before I get into the main part of the video, if you're not really familiar with my channel, I own a Mark 7 Golf R. I've had it for coming up to 2 years now. Absolutely love it. On about 18,250 odd miles. It's been brilliant. A lot about the channel is just documenting what the car's like, really, kind of general updates, building a bit of a community with other sort of Golf R owners and other like car enthusiasts. Really, I'm a massive hot hatch fan. Absolutely love them. And you know, I'm a big fan of the Golf R, obviously. A little bit of content else around sort of like Fords as well. I'm quite a bit of a fan on that as well. But yeah, that's sort of the main purpose of my kind of channel, as well as bringing sort of like latest news updates. You know, if I see something that I feel would be interesting to someone else, I'll kind of share it. You know, I did a video, well, my last video, just a little bit around the Mark 8. The Mark 8 Golf R Plus, so if you haven't seen that one, check it out. It's quite useful. But yeah, so not to get straight into the initial topic. So the Golf R has been brilliant. You know, I've absolutely, as always, been loving it. There's really been no issues sort of this year or since I've had it. Really, it's been absolutely faultless. You know, economy's been fine, power's been fine. It feels just as tight as it did when I first sort of picked it up, and you know, I feel privileged to kind of own it. I think going forward it's going to be quite interesting. You know, I've recently I'm starting a new job in a month and a half's time, which will potentially mean a lot more miles on the Golf R, which I think will be good. I can, you know, learn a little bit more about it. I think in the last year I've probably only done around sort of 9,000 miles, to be fair, so a little bit less than when I first picked it up. On that note, I've got a second service coming up, which I've booked in next month. So I'll share how that goes on, and you know, a little bit around costings as well, a little bit about that. But the car itself's been brilliant. I'm looking forward to driving it. You know what? When I haven't been driving it for a while, it's still that car. You know, you just get into, you just want to go for a blast. You know, I love my Sunday kind of fun drives. It just feels brilliant, and particularly when driving a car which is not as necessarily as focused. Getting in this, you really notice that sort of like firmer suspension, but it's certainly not unbearable for a daily. It's really good at sort of like long commute, and that's why I'm kind of looking forward to it. I don't think I would want to be in a different car really, doing a long commute as well, and then being able to have that ability on the weekend to have a bit of fun. So yeah, really enjoying the Golf R. Really hoping I can kind of keep it going for the long term, really. But yeah, car's been brilliant, and certainly plenty more updates to come. I try to do a video at least once a week, but you'll certainly see updates on the car and how it's going, really. But yeah, on to kind of the subject of the video. So I saw this yesterday actually, and it's basically, if you haven't heard of Mountune, they do a lot of Ford performance type upgrades, and certainly when I had my Fiesta ST, which I owned for about 4 years, it was very tempting to get this MP215 kit, which was basically, you know, £600, small changes and tweaks which made a big difference. You know, up the power a little bit, up the torque a little bit, and it just brought a car even more to life, apparently. You know, I never got the kit in the end. I kept my car stock. I like that. But certainly in the Ford community, it was really highly rated. It also didn't void the warranty as well, and you know, it was just that whole relationship. You get it done at a Ford dealer, and it was really good. And although I've done videos in the past on sort of Golf R upgrades, and one on sort of like Revo before last year, and certainly that was quite exciting. This for me is equally exciting, and certainly for me as well. You know, it certainly is an option potentially to get it on the Golf R in the future. But I wanted to talk a little bit around it. So it's called the M52 Golf R Stage 1 Power Kit. Bit of a mouthful. But essentially what Mountune have done, they teamed up with a company called 1552, hence the name of sort of the M52. I've never heard of them, but you know, apparently they've used their in-house expertise with Mountune, and then together they can combine and make this product and make it a bit global as well. I'll post sort of like pictures and links as I'm kind of talking a little bit over it. And essentially it'll up the power to 360, so a little bit less than the Golf R Revo one that I talked about before. Up the torque to 500 newton meters, and if you see like the power delivery, it comes in a lot earlier. It's really cool, really exciting. something that can give a little bit of life to your car. It works on a Mark 7 Golf R and it works on a 7.5 Golf R. I actually think it works across the range with all the other cars which have the EA888 engine, the 2 litre, which is across like the VAG group. You know, you get them in Audis, Seats, all sorts these days. And it certainly seems exciting with the DSG or the manual it can work with. 0 to 60 on the DSG will get it up to 3.7 seconds. It doesn't quote the manual time, but I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit quicker. Probably dip into the fours relatively, I say relatively comfortably, you know, 4.5 seconds there or thereabouts. And yeah, it's not that sort of level where you've got crazy power where you risk kind of damaging the engine. It's sort of, for me, it feels like it's in that tolerance where the engine can kind of take it. Which is why it's quite exciting. And just to give you that little bit extra, which the Golf R probably has always had, these engines are quite highly tunable anyway. The only thing that they say that you would potentially need is an aftermarket induction system. Now, they actually offer something called an M52 X3 kit, which is calibrated correctly. That kit's about £400, and then you've got to potentially pay to fit it. The actual M52 kit is essentially just something that plugs into your OBD port, like most things nowadays, and it does all the work for you. That's quoted at just under sort of £800. So together, you'd probably want to get the two. You're looking at over, you know, over £1,000, and then before you've sort of fitted it, whether you fit it yourself or you get them to fit it, you know, it's not the cheapest of upgrades, but at the same time, it's not stupidly expensive. And it could add quite a lot to your car and certainly give it that lift. So I kind of wanted to share that, and you know, it's quite new out there. It would be good, again, you know, I've got hopefully you know, plenty of people tune into my channel who own a Golf R. It'd be interesting to see if you guys are thinking of getting it. You know, mention it in the comments, and to see what it's like, and again to kind of share that experience. You know, I'm not getting paid or anything by Mountune or by anyone. I purely just express my opinion on something that seems interesting and something that I'd like to kind of share with you guys. For me, on a personal level, I like stock cars. I like the Golf R being stock, but I certainly would never rule this kind of thing out. I've always said before, I think certainly once kind of the warranty goes, maybe it might be interesting to get it. I never really feel like I'm wanting more power in this car. I think for me, my next upgrade is probably just going to be tyres. And again, I'd like to know your thoughts on that. You know, I'm thinking Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, you know, all round, just to give it that extra level and, you know, keep it still within tolerances of being a good daily in the wet and bits like that, something that's been rated quite highly. But certainly on the modification scene, I think this could be a really nice, subtle kind of upgrade, because, you know, you can get a little badge at the back saying M52, looks quite fancy. You know, you might get a little bit more noise from sort of like if you get the induction kit, but overall you're still looking at a very sleeper type car. And certainly mine in the grey, it's really, really quite stealthy. Even if I polish up the exhaust and clean the wheels and it's all clean, it's still that stealthy kind of nature, which I absolutely love as a daily, and it's why they're absolutely so popular. You know, real, you know, wolf in sheep's clothing. It's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. Let me know what you think about it. You know, hopefully a little bit of information on it. There's not really much else about it. I think they've done a YouTube clip on it with you can get like some decals on it and all, you know, some cosmetic parts, which I'm not necessarily so keen on myself, but other people might be. You can change the suspension and stuff like that as well. And it could potentially make what's already an absolutely brilliant 5-star car in my mind that little bit better. Let me know in the comments what you think. You know, let me know what you think about the new kit. You know, is it something that would tempt you with your Golf R? It certainly seems something quite exciting. I know the modification scene is quite big and there's so many out there, but I've just heard so many good things about Mountune, to be honest, and certainly within Ford. I just think it's something that's certainly worth a go, and certainly something I wanted to share with you. So let me know what you think. Thanks again so much for the subscribers and the views. You know, it means a lot to me. You know, stay tuned for more content on my Golf R. You know, I think there's a lot more to come from it this year. I think I'm going to get a different dimension from it, you know, particularly, you know, for the second half of the year, you know, doing a different type of commute, I think is going to be a big thing for the car. You know, whether or not, well, will it hold up? Will it hold up as a daily? You know, I think it will, but, you know, you never really know. For me, the main thing, I'm absolutely just still loving it as like a blast as well on a weekend. And that's sort of 2 years on. I'm not getting bored of it. I absolutely love it. It's a special car. But again, you know, thanks so much. You know, give it a like if you've enjoyed this video. You know, if you didn't hear about the Mountune, this new offering, you know, please subscribe for more content on my Golf R. But you know, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Cheers, guys.